Hey there, ghost enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're embarking on a spooky adventure across the pond to visit some of the most haunted places in Britain. Grab your Ghostbusters gear, maybe a snack or two, and let's get into it. Remember, if you hear any strange noises, it's probably just my cat. Now let's dive in. Kicking off our list at number 10, we have the infamous Tower of London. This place has seen more drama than a reality TV show, and trust me, that's saying something. We're talking centuries of imprisonment, executions, and enough royal gossip to fuel 1,000 tabloids. It's no wonder the place is practically overflowing with ghosts. The most famous spookster here is, of course, Anne Boleyn, Henry VIII's infamous ex-wife. You know, the one he accused of treason and lopped her head off? Yeah, rough breakup. Anyway, people say Anne's still wandering the tower, searching for her lost head. I mean, I'd be pretty annoyed too if I couldn't find my head. Where do you even start looking? But Anne's not the only ghost hanging around. There's also the White Lady, a spectral figure often seen drifting towards the Tower Green, and the two young princes, rumoured to have been murdered by their own uncle, Richard III. Talk about family drama. Honestly, with so many ghosts running amok, the Tower of London is basically a paranormal party. Just try not to lose your head if you decide to visit. Coming in at number 9, we have the Ramsay Fort. Now, this place might not be as famous as the Tower of London, but trust me, it's got its own brand of spooky charm. Picture this, a crumbling fortress perched on a windswept cliff overlooking the crashing waves of the North Sea. Sounds like the perfect setting for a ghost story, right? Well, Ramsay Fort doesn't disappoint. This place is supposedly crawling with ghostly soldiers, still marching and guarding their post even in the afterlife. Some say they've heard the clang of armour and the tramp of ghostly boots echoing through the empty corridors. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of a ghostly patrol. Now, I know what you're thinking. Shane, how can you be sure they're not just reenactors trying to scare the tourists? And that's a fair point. But there's something about Ramsay Fort, a certain chill in the air that makes you wonder if there's more to this place than meets the eye. So if you ever find yourself braving the Scottish coast, swing by Ramsay Fort. Just don't be surprised if you hear the ghostly whispers of soldiers long gone. Number 8 brings us to the majestic Edinburgh Castle. This isn't just any old castle. We're talking about a Scottish icon perched high above the city on a volcanic rock. It's seen it all. Battles, sieges, royal banquets, you name it. And let me tell you, all that history has left its mark, and I'm not just talking about the architecture. Edinburgh Castle is notoriously haunted, and I'm not talking about your friendly Casper the Ghost kind of hauntings. We're talking full-on, spine-chilling encounters with the unknown. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the shadows, hearing disembodied voices whispering through the stone walls, and even feeling icy cold spots that defy all logic. But the most famous resident of Edinburgh Castle is undoubtedly the headless drummer. Legend has it that this unfortunate soul was decapitated while warning the castle of an impending attack. Now, his ghostly drumming can be heard echoing through the castle grounds, a chilling reminder of Edinburgh's bloody past. So, if you're planning a trip to Scotland, put Edinburgh Castle on your list. Just be prepared for a ghostly encounter or two. Chapter 4. St Andrews University, where studying can be scary. St Andrews University, the oldest in Scotland, is steeped in history and ghost stories. It has educated bright minds, including Prince William. But there's a dark undercurrent of paranormal activity. Students whisper tales of ghostly figures gliding through ancient halls and disembodied footsteps echoing through libraries at night. Even spectral professors still delivering lectures from beyond the grave. So, if you ever find yourself at St Andrews, keep your eyes peeled. Chapter 5. The Fenchurch. Cheers to haunted pints and ghostly tales. The Fenchurch, a historic London pub with a spirited twist. The pints are cold, the conversation lively, and the ghosts are always down for a good time. Serving drinks since the 18th century, it's seen its fair share of colourful characters. Some have decided to stay on as permanent residents, even the occasional ghostly barkeep pulling pints from beyond the grave. Next time you're in London, swing by the Fenchurch for a pint with a side of paranormal activity. Chapter 6. Bodmin Jail. where history meets hauntings. At number 5, we enter Bodmin Jail, a chilling reminder of Britain's dark past. This isn't your average haunted house, folks. We're talking about a former prison that housed some of the most hardened criminals in British history. And let me tell you, the stories that seep from these stone walls are enough to make your blood run cold. Bodmin Jail was operational for over 150 years, and during that time it witnessed countless executions, suicides, and unspeakable acts of violence. It's no wonder that the place is practically dripping with negative energy, a magnet for restless spirits with unfinished business. Visitors and staff have reported disembodied voices echoing through the cell blocks, shadowy figures lurking in the execution chamber, and even the chilling sensation of being touched or grabbed by unseen hands. One of the most infamous ghosts is said to be Selina Wadge, a woman convicted of murdering her own son. Her spirit is said to roam the jail, searching for her lost child and seeking forgiveness for her crimes. So if you're brave enough to venture inside Bodmin Jail, be prepared for a truly unsettling experience. Just remember, whatever you do, don't go alone. Chapter 7. Number 4 goes to the Belfry. This isn't your typical haunted house with creaky floorboards and cobwebs. This place is all about the bells, baby. We're talking about a historic building with a tower full of massive bells that have been ringing out for centuries, announcing everything from weddings to funerals. But here's the thing about the Belfry. Sometimes those bells ring when no one's around to ring them. Spooky, right? People say that the Belfry is haunted by a former bell ringer, a grumpy old fellow who loved his job a little too much. They say he can't bear to be parted from his beloved bells even in death, so he continues to ring them from beyond the grave, just to let everyone know he's still in charge. Visitors have reported hearing the bells chime unexpectedly even when the tower is locked and empty. Some have even claimed to see a shadowy figure up in the Belfry, pulling the ropes and grinning mischievously. So, if you hear the bells tolling at the Belfry, don't worry, it's probably just our ghostly bell ringer keeping the party going from the other side. Chapter 8. At number 3, we're taking a detour from our regularly scheduled programming for a little fun. You see, when we were researching haunted places in Britain, we stumbled upon something truly bizarre. It seems that even across the pond, they have their own version of cryptids, those mysterious creatures that defy explanation. And this one, my friends, is a doozy. Forget Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, because Britain has its very own beast lurking in the shadows, the beast of Bodmin Moor. This elusive creature is said to roam the wilds of Cornwall, terrorizing livestock and leaving behind giant paw prints. Some say it's a giant cat, others a wild dog, and some even whisper of something far stranger. Now I know what you're thinking. Shame, what does this have to do with ghosts? And you're right, it doesn't really. But hey, who doesn't love a good monster story? Plus there's something inherently spooky about the unknown. Whether it's a ghost, a goblin, or a giant, mysterious beast lurking in the British countryside. So keep your eyes peeled and your wits about you, because you never know what might be lurking in the shadows. Chapter 9. Our runner-up at number 2 is the Old Curiosity Shop in London. This isn't just any old shop, though. We're talking about a place that's practically bursting at the seams with history, antiques, and of course, a few resident ghosts. This quirky little shop was immortalized in Charles Dickens's novel of the same name, and it's easy to see why. With its creaky floorboards, dusty shelves, and overflowing displays of curious objects, it's like stepping back in time. But be warned, you might not be alone. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a shadowy figure flitting through the aisles, rearranging objects and whispering to itself. Some say it's the ghost of Charles Dickens himself, still keeping an eye on his literary creation. Others believe it's the spirit of a former shopkeeper forever tied to the place where she spent her days. So, if you're looking for a unique shopping experience with a side of paranormal activity, the Old Curiosity Shop is the place to be. Just be sure to keep your wits about you and your hands to yourself. You never know what might be lurking behind those antique dolls and dusty books. Chapter 10, and finally, drumroll. At number 1, we have the Gloucester Old Prison. This place is the real deal, folks, a chilling testament to the harsh realities of Victorian-era justice. We're talking about a prison that operated for over 200 years, witnessing countless tales of despair, suffering, and restless spirits. Gloucester Old Prison is a labyrinth of dark corridors, cramped cells, and oppressive stone walls. It's the kind of place that seems to absorb the pain and suffering of the past, holding onto it like a grim souvenir. Visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, hearing disembodied whispers and screams, and even seeing shadowy figures lurking in the former cells. One of the most haunted areas is said to be the chapel, where condemned prisoners spent their last night before execution. People say you can still feel the weight of their fear and despair, as if their anguish is etched into the very walls. So if you're looking for the ultimate haunted experience, a journey into the heart of darkness, then Gloucester Old Prison is calling your name. Just be prepared to face the ghosts of the past, for they are legion. And there you have it, our top 10 haunted places in Britain. Whether you're a ghost believer or just in it for a good scare, these places are sure to send a shiver down your spine. If you enjoyed this ghostly journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more spine-tingling adventures. Remember, see a ghost? Offer them a taco. Catch you later, spooky friends.